Hello everybody and welcome back to another What I Eat in a Day as a Fat Person reaction. I'm not going to have any guesses of what we're going to see today because I actually recorded this video yesterday and I had changed up the way I did it, so I had played the video through a lot more without interrupting so much, and I really didn't like it. I felt like I was being rushed and I wasn't talking at all, and the whole point of these videos is to talk and to be quite interactive and start discussions and stuff, so I just didn't like it, so I'm not going to do that again. And yeah, but you guys can put your guesses of what you think we're going to see, and all of these videos today are from Auntie Kale, and she is another channel favourite. I do quite enjoy her videos, and these ones I think are all a little bit older, so these are from when she was losing weight, and yeah, it's a little bit different, so we're gonna see what she's up to and we're gonna get into it now.
What I eat in a day as a fat girl.
Alani Witch's Brew, whipped cream.
I did look up the Alani Witch's Brew and they are sugar free, which is really good. And they have a lot of other vitamins and stuff in them. And they also have 200 milligrams of caffeine, and there is nothing wrong with caffeine. It doesn't really matter where you get it from, whether that's tea, coffee, energy drinks for the caffeine. It's fine, but in the mornings you are probably better off having something like a black coffee if you're very tired. But if you are super tired in the mornings, probably reassess your sleep and evaluate how well you're sleeping, because you shouldn't necessarily be that tired in the morning that you feel the need for an energy drink. And adding whipped cream is strange to me. I don't see the appeal of adding whipped cream to something like an energy drink. I find that really odd. But if she likes it, she likes it, and depending on the whipped cream, if it's relatively low in sugars and calories, it's not too bad. But as I said, I do find it a bit odd. But other than that, it's not the worst thing that she could have had.
For breakfast, we got 2 chicken apple sausages with mustard, a sweet potato, and tomatoes.
That breakfast looks amazing, I must say, because she gets the nice starch from the potato, and it's a sweet potato, which is one of the best potatoes. The sausages look delicious, mustard is relatively low calorie, and the tomatoes also look really good. I like the colour of those tomatoes. Yeah, it looks really nice. Oh, we've gone downhill real quick. Yeah, that is so much cheese, and the little jalapenos on the pizza do not count as veggies, and neither do the tomato sauces. Don't count as one of your 5 a day, unfortunately. This is a massive portion. Of course, if she's sharing it with somebody, it's not so bad, but it doesn't appear that she's sharing it with anybody. And as I said, that is a really, really big piece of pizza, or well, cheese bread. It's not even pizza. So yeah, don't have all of this. Have 1 or 2 pieces and save the rest for another day. Put it in the freezer or something, or share it with friends. But this is crazy. The amount of calories in this is nuts.
That.
Having this pizza after that bread is diabolical. It is remarkable. Of course, there is another human being here that she's sharing it with, but that's still incredibly excessive for 2 people. I imagine this feeds, if it was going to be a meal, I would say 8 people, because you'd have kind of like half of one of these each with something else. But if this was all you were going to eat, then it feeds 4 people. So to share it between 2 is kind of nuts. Obviously they may keep it for later, have some tomorrow or something like that, which isn't horrendous. But she has had the bread and then this, so it's incredibly carb heavy, and there's not going to be any kind of like good fiber or good protein or anything in it. So it's just a terrible choice, really, to have one and then the other. Have one or this one. Like, have the bread or the pizza. You don't need both.
Oh, yes.
Doesn't even look very nice. The bread is so thick as well. Water for the health. And a peanut butter premier protein bar. So I don't know the macros on this. I don't really eat protein bars. I used to, back in the day, but I don't anymore. And this does look like just a normal chocolate bar, and it is protein in it, so it's not as bad. But at the end of the day, it's still ultra processed. And if you do eat meat, and I'm pretty sure she does, then you are so much better off getting it from a real protein source, whether that's eggs, cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, tuna, anything like that. You're so much better off actually eating real protein, not ultra processed manufactured protein. And you can get it from plants or animals, whatever you want, whatever it fits your diet. But this is just not really the way. I mean, it's not the worst choice, but also she could do much better. And I bet she feels really snacky after that as well, because it's a dessert. But yeah, everything she had near enough was just ultra processed. The breakfast was nice, but everything else was just diabolical.
What I eat in a day as a fat girl.
Don't drink out of the jug like that. That's crazy. Even if you live alone, then do what you want to an extent. But if you're living with another person, don't drink out of containers like that. Not only is it filthy, but also you're introducing bacteria and stuff to the milk in this case, and you don't know how that bacteria is going to handle being in milk, especially as milk can ferment quite quickly and go off really quite quickly. I wouldn't want to be doing that, and I certainly wouldn't want to be the second person who came up to drink some milk after somebody else has had their lips all over the top of it. That's quite gross. Yeah, don't do that. This is a humongous bowl. It's so big. It's so big. The portions of the cereal that we see in these videos is insane. They are always ginormous. So much milk as well.
It's just 2 slices, that's all I have left.
So we've had a humongous bowl of cereal, the 2 slices of ultra-processed turkey, which aren't as bad as something like salami. They're still ultra-processed, not the best, but it is still a meat, still turkey, so it's fine. And then she had the strawberries with whipped cream. Strawberries are delicious, really, really nice, especially if you either grow them at home or if you can get them local. But we have British strawberries, of course, and in my opinion, British strawberries are the best. But I'm biased, of course, so yeah, if you can get them local, that's great. Be mindful if you are squirting things like whipped cream onto each individual strawberry, because you don't know how much whipped cream you're having, and it is so easy to have a lot of it. So you could be having a lot of calories and a lot of sugar on top of your strawberries. So if you do like whipped cream, and she clearly does, then you could portion it out into a separate bowl and just kind of scoop your strawberries into it like that. So you still get the whipped cream, you still get your strawberries, but you have it in a more balanced and controlled way, which would be much better for her. And she's already had a humongous bowl of cereal and the fruit. You don't need the Oreo ball for your breakfast dessert. Save it for the end of the day after you've actually eaten some real food, and then you can have it. There's nothing to say you can't have it, just don't have it for breakfast.
Oh,
That looks quite nice.
Oh my god, that looks so good. Mongolian beef, holy cow, this is hot. Side of broccoli comes with this like garlic sauce.
That does look like a relatively good fast food meal. Of course it is takeout, so it's not the best. You don't know how it's cooked, but it is so many veggies, and you've got some nice prawns. You've got the imitation crab, you've got the, did she say pork as well? And then that humongous bowl of veggies. It looks really good. As fast food goes, this was probably one of her best choices, because it's going to be so rich in protein and fibre and all the nutrients and stuff that you get from the veggies. So that's really, really good as fast food goes. So that's great. But I would probably start with the broccoli, to be honest, just because I love broccoli. It's so good.
I feel like the camera doesn't do it justice. That is a really big shrimp.
And even though they are quite veggie heavy, that's still a
Like
humongous
really
portion.
sauce on.
Like, how much food do you need? I think one of those would be more than enough for a single person. You don't need 3 containers, even if one is just broccoli.
Yeah. And it's so good. Trying this chocolate chip cookie dough fit crunch bar and these spicy dill pickle almonds.
This reminds me of that lady that had the cosmic brownie with the crackers for over 760 calories, I think it was. That reminds me of this so much. Well, this reminds me of that because the almonds are going to be incredibly high in calories because and fats as well because they're almonds and that's just the nature of nuts, unfortunately. And they're spicy dill pickle ones, so they're coated in something or other. And then you've got the cookie dough Fit Crunch bar. I would assume that's some kind of protein bar. Again, it's more like kind of like a candy bar, especially if it's going to be cookie dough flavoured. So there's going to be quite a lot of sugar in there. And if you're having a protein bar that's full of sugar, it kind of defeats the purpose of a protein bar. You may as well just have a normal chocolate bar and some chicken. So, yeah, just these little snacky things will catch you out every single time, even when they are marketed as we're high in protein, we're low in fat. It's like, but what else are you high in? If you remove fat, you're probably adding sugar because the taste is from the fat and the taste is from the sugar. So you're adding something in when you're taking something else out. So when you're seeing these things that are like low fat or no fat, look at what they've replaced it with. Trans direct sugar. And you do need fats in your diet. You can't have a diet without any fat in it because the body needs it. So just because it's no fat doesn't mean it's healthy.
It's good.
Definitely a dessert, so I'm glad she had it at dessert time at the end of the day.
What I eat today as a fat girl.
These are my fave.
Again, with these protein bars, just eat
Somebody
real food.
mentioned this in my comments, and I have not been able to stop thinking about it since. And I went to Walmart, and they had it.
That looks crazy for a protein shake. If that is just a protein shake, then that's fantastic. I would like to know what she used to make up the liquid, whether she used a milk or a water. But it does look really quite tasty, and if you are making protein shakes and they taste like milkshakes, then I would be mindful of the sugar content just to see how they make it taste like that. But also that's a really, really good way of controlling kind of cravings and stuff. So if you've got a craving, you can have a protein shake and that kind of kicks the need for it, then that's fantastic. But also, again, you are better off eating your real protein sources, whether it's from eggs and tuna, whatever, as I said earlier, rather than getting it from powders and protein bars and things that have been fortified, like, I don't know, yeah, protein bars. I can't think of anything else. Protein chips and stuff like that. Yeah, just eat your food and eat real food. You'll probably be feeling much better.
Ooh. That is really, really good. And then we ordered some Chinese food the other night, and I have some leftover veggies with some imitation crab meat in it, but there's not really much protein in it, so that's why I'm having it with a protein shake.
That does look like the meal we just saw, so these videos could be quite close together. I'm not 100%. But, yeah, it's good that she's adding extra protein to the meal. But what I would do personally, instead of having a protein shake, I would add some, either add some more prawns, add some tuna or something if it's seafood, add some mussels or whatever. That's what I personally would do. I think that would be tastier, it would fit the meal a lot more, and you wouldn't then get the kind of graininess that you tend to get with protein shakes. But that's just what I would do.
Literally, shut up. Why do they make vegetables taste so good? And how?
Veggies are always tasting good if you know how to cook them. But also, I'm going to say this, and I don't mean it to be an attack on this lady, but I know she recycles clips because I found two videos where she uses the same clip twice, as if they were on the same day. So, and it's not just her, I've seen other people do it as well when I've been looking for these videos. So you can't fully trust what they're saying is actually what they're eating. I mean, we all knew that anyway, let's be real. But to have direct evidence of it is kind of sad. But regardless of that, as a tangent, let's go back to the video.
Is this some like Jedi mind trick?
And I always find it sad when these obese people are like, vegetables taste good? That's crazy. It's like, of course they taste good. They're vegetables. It just makes me so sad because when they say that, you know they either really truly hate vegetables and they've probably grown up like that, and they just don't know how to cook them, and you know they don't eat them. It's just so sad. Another one of those energy drinks. And that looks really good. So you've got the protein from the meatballs, best if you make them at home yourself, of course with all food. The cheesy garlic bread doesn't look as cheesy as some would have it, which is again really, really good. And there's not so much pasta, which is a nice balance between the pasta, like the amount of pasta and the meatballs. So again, a great dinner in my opinion. Just add some veggies and it'll be perfect. But as I said, we don't know this is all she ate. She might have had the whole roll of garlic bread, we can't tell, so. And this is the sort of thing that I used to have with rice cakes as well. So she's got the Nutella and the strawberries. I wouldn't have Nutella, I don't like Nutella. But I would have like strawberries and peanut butter, or my favourite was peanut butter with chopped banana and a drizzle of honey and a sprinkling of cinnamon. That was always my favourite. Rice cakes are very, very low in calories and they don't really taste of anything, so that makes them great for adding toppings. The strawberries are a good choice. There's not a crazy amount of Nutella, so we're on to a win-win there. And yeah, hopefully that was all she ate because it's not actually that bad of a day. This video's been silenced because of the music that she was playing. I'm pretty sure. I'll just double check. I was wrong. I don't know why it was silenced. We're going to play the music.
What I eat in a day as a fat girl who's lost 85 pounds. Air fried potatoes, eggs, bacon, sausage gravy, cheese and avocado with sriracha and avocado topping.
Literally can't fault that, to be honest. It looks delicious. The only thing I would maybe say is to change the ratio of certain things. So air fried potatoes is fine. I tend to air fry potatoes if I'm having them. Add more eggs, probably add more bacon depending on what type of bacon you've got. Sausage gravy. If she means like the American sausage gravy, I don't know what that is, because you guys have biscuits and gravy, and that kind of gravy from your biscuits and gravy just doesn't really exist here. I don't know what it is. I saw it for the first time a little while ago and I was shocked because that's not what gravy is to us, so I don't know what she means by that. Have a portion of cheese that you've weighed out. Avocado is fantastic, but again, weigh it out because the calorie content in it. And it's really good though. You can have basically as much avocado as you want in terms of health benefits, but you do have to weigh it out in and have a normal portion of it just because it is so calorically dense. But yeah, have more eggs, more bacon, and then add some like tomatoes or something through it just to make it more voluminous. But other than that, really, really solid breakfast.
Pumpkin spice latte with chocolate swirl.
Probably 1,000 calories in a cup. 700
cheese
calories in a
and
cup.
crackers.
These just look really sad to me.
Peanut.
Because it was just literally plain crackers with like weak cheese. It'd be much nicer if she added some veggies with some hummus. So have kind of like half the portion of crackers. That cheese is fine. And then have some like cucumber sticks with some pepper and some hummus, or carrot sticks, whatever takes a fancy, and have it like that. I think it would taste a lot nicer. It wouldn't be so boring and it wouldn't just be beige on a plate. So it'd be more appealing to eat as well.
Peanut butter and pickles made with PB to powder, agave and water.
Very strange combo to have gherkins and peanut butter. But if you like it, you like it. There's no harm in that. There's basically 0 calories in gherkins or pickles. And if you're making peanut butter with some kind of powder, then it is a lot lower in calories. But at the same time, this is a really big container. So peanut butter is definitely one of those foods that you have to weigh out. So just do be careful of that, because it is very high calorie, high fat. But as I said, if she's making it with a powder, it's not going to be so bad, but you still have to weigh it out. And yeah, I personally would have a banana with peanut butter rather than gherkins. I find that odd. And much like we've said in one of the other previous videos, don't just stick your hands into jars to get food out. I don't know if she did that, of course, she may not have done. But she's got the jar there and I don't see any utensils. Because if you're sticking your hand into jars, then you're introducing bacteria. And it could get quite dangerous depending on what type of bacteria is then going to be introduced and growing in your food. So use something clean to get out food that is then going to go back into the fridge or into the cupboard, just out of basic kind of kitchen etiquette. And as someone who we've seen drink directly out of a gallon jug of milk, I wouldn't put it past her to put her hand in a jar of food that other people are then going to eat, or even if it's just her, that she's then going to leave on the side to ferment into bacteria. It's not a good way to live, and it's really unhealthy from a bacterial standpoint, so just don't do that.
Healthier Taco Bell beefy 5-layer burrito.
Add some veggies. She's not got a single vegetable because she's making it healthy, because she's making it at home, which is great. There's so much cheese in it, as you can see. Not a single vegetable. She's making it healthier, and it didn't occur to her to add veggies. Like, that baffles me. Because if I'm thinking healthy, I'm thinking kind of cabbage and lettuce and sweet corn and beans and stuff like that. Not just beige cheese, beige burrito, beige meat. Oh, it just looks so bad. But it is better that she's making
Reese's Puffs. Reese's Puffs. Peanut butter chocolate flavor.
more beige in a massive bowl. Again, cereal is one of those things
Okay.
cereal is one of those things that you do have to weigh out, because it is so easy to eat 2, 3, 4 portions in a go, especially when your bowls are this big. Because when we have like cereal bowls, I don't think they're this big. They do look smaller, probably half the size, maybe not half, 3/4 of the size. So it is a lot easier to kind of control how much you're eating. But even then, it is so easy to go overboard with cereal, and because it's just kind of carbs and sugar in most cases, it's not doing anything for you at all except spiking your blood sugar and making you want to eat. So you do have to be careful with it. And if you do like cereal, there's nothing wrong with cereal in and of itself, but try and make it better by adding some fruit, berries, as I like to say, or just add something else on the side. So you could have eggs or cottage cheese with some veggies or something like that, tofu, anything that is higher in protein is actually going to do something for you and keep you full. Because this won't keep you full, and if it does, it'll keep you full for about half an hour, and then you'll want more food. So it's not the best choice, especially at the end of the day, but yeah.
Love you bye. Have the day you deserve.
Fair enough. But anyway, that is the end of this video. I'm definitely not going to re-record videos in the future, because I find it a lot more fun to watch them blind with you guys and react to them when they're new. So I won't be doing that again. It's not as fun for me. But irrespective of that, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please let me know down in the comments. If you haven't, again, please let me know down in the comments. I'm always open to feedback. So again, thank you for watching if you've made it this far, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye guys!